Hey, I'm so happy to see all your faces today. My name is Miss Stacy, and this is Preschool Storytime designed for ages 3 to 5. Let's all do our hello song, okay?
I'm 4. I'm 5 now.
You got older. That's so cool. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as high as we can. Hello! Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as low as we can. Hello, hello everybody, hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as fast as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slow as we can. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quiet as we can. Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, friends, this is the loud one if you want to cover your ears. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as loud as we can. Oh, the bear didn't need to hear that. Well, I'm so glad that you're here with me today. That was a fun one. Okay, let's go over our story time plan. I put it over here on the side. We just did our hello song, and I've got a couple announcements. We'll learn a word in sign language, read our first story. We'll do an action song. We'll read our second story. Then we're going to do the chicken dance. We'll read our third story. And then we'll have a quick little felt rhyme. We'll talk about our craft, and then we'll do our goodbye song. Okay. Does anybody have a guess about what kind of story time we're doing today? Chickens! How'd you figure that out? It is a chicken story time.
I know it's a chicken story because it has a chicken.
You used the clues around you. That's smart thinking. Okay, but before we get to that, I had a couple announcements, and the big one is that we're going into a programming break, so we'll have regular story times. You do. You know how chickens dance.
I know how to dance.
I can't wait to see you dance like a chicken.
I know what chicken.
Okay. You'll have to show me when we get to the chicken dance. Okay. And then we're going to have a 2-week programming break as we do all the things we need to do to get ready for Summer Reading Club, which is a big deal. And so that brings me to my second announcement, which is I hope you'll join us for our Summer Reading Club kickoff party. It's our biggest event of the year, and that'll be Saturday, June 3rd from 9:30 to 12:30. And we're going to have bouncy houses, face painting, pizza and popcorn, snow cones, and just tons and tons of cool things. Bouncy houses, I hope that you come because it is going to be a blast, y'all. It's going to be so much fun. Does anybody know how to say chicken in Spanish? Anybody? Chicken in Spanish? Pollo. 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 And if you wanted to say it in American Sign Language, you would take your non-dominant hand and make a ground. Like if you're right-handed, your left hand would be non-dominant. If you're right-handed, your right hand is dominant. So if you're right-handed, you would do it with your left. If you're left-handed, you would do it with your right. So you make a ground, and then with your dominant hand, you turn it into a chicken. See, I've got just my thumb and my pointy finger. And so then right now my beak's open, but I'm going to close it and peck the ground a couple times. It closes as it's pecking for worms and things, corn. That's how you do chicken, 2 times. 2 times chicken, pollo. Okay. Does anybody know what side of the chicken has the most feathers?
No.
It's the outside. The outside. Okay, let's read our first story. Our first story today is called Brewster the Rooster, and it was written by Devin Skillian, and the pictures were drawn by Lee White. When you're getting so big, you're up here at the front with us. Okay. Brewster the Rooster crowed at the sun and woke the whole farm every day. Farther from here, folks could hear that rooster from 4 farms away. Off like a siren, he'd hoot and he'd wail, flapping his wings with great flair. His championship cries won the blue ribbon prize each year at the Kansas State Fair. It's a prize-winning rooster. So life would begin on the McIntosh farm the same noisy way every morning. He was fit as a fiddle, but little by little he began to crow without warning. I'm worried about Brewster, Magnolia said, mixing carrot cake batter with raisins. Something has changed. It seems so strange, but he's crowing at the oddest occasions. He's not just crowing in the morning anymore. It was true. It was true. The whole family thought the rooster had gotten unruly. Like when Fanny and Paul were tossing the ball with Abner, Topper, and Julie. Just as young Topper got ready to throw, old Brewster crowed loudly with glee. It took Topper's breath, scared him to death, and the ball got stuck in a tree. Oh man, that's not good. That's not what you want when you're playing ball. Or that windy day when Zeb climbed the ladder to paint the old barn red. With his bucket and pail, a really stiff gale, that means wind, blew the hat right off his bald head. Old Brewster let loose with a roosterly roar, and Zeb felt the old ladder quiver. The west wind blew, and off he flew, spraying paint all the way to the river. It's a long way. Oh, there he is. He fell off the ladder. Look at all that paint. Whoa. And Grandma Pearl was down in the kitchen. It was awful how they would find her. While she was cooking, no one was looking when Brewster strolled up behind her. She was there at the stove, flipping a hot cake, when Brewster sent the old woman reeling. She shrieked at the sound, started slipping around, and got batter all over the ceiling. What a mess. And poor Magnolia was out in her garden planting her daisies and clover when Brewster let go with an ear-splitting crow just as Magnolia bent over. The flower stems snapped and the hose broke free in a shower of splashes and splatters. Magnolia went thud, fell in the mud, and her new yellow dress was in tatters. Tatters means like ripped to shreds. So the family took Brewster to see Doc Sawyer, who had helped them time and again. He flipped on his light, which was awfully bright, and just as the doctor leaned in, Brewster let loose with his cock-a-doodle-doo right in Doc Sawyer's good ear. Well, the doc took a fall, smacked his head on the wall, and Zeb said, "That's why we're here." You think the doctor can fix the rooster? I don't know either. Doc Sawyer stood up and dusted his trousers and looked Brewster right in the eye. I doubt it's contagious, but it's most outrageous. Any idea as to why? Magnolia thought fever. Zeb thought a virus. Abner said it's weather connected. Grandma said flu. Paul thought so too, but Fanny thought his feathers were infected. I mean, well, you know what his feathers are, right? And infected means like it has a little bug that might need medicine. Not very likely, Doc Sawyer said, giving Brewster's tonsils a peek. Then he started to drape a long piece of tape around Brewster's unpredictable beak. It doesn't make sense, the doctor went on, taping the beak together, and they stared at Brewster, that taped up rooster, and wondered if he'd ever get better. Oh, it is. That's funny. He needs glasses, little Julie said. Julie was the youngest and often ignored, and the family giggled with doubt. They heed and they hawed and outright guffawed. That's like, till Doc Sawyer said, "Let's hear her out." "It's simple," said Julie. "It makes perfect sense. You go ahead and make fun, but everyone knows that a rooster crows when he thinks he sees the sun." Ruh-roh. It jumped off my ear. Well, Julie pointed out at Doc Sawyer's lamp and said, "It has to be just the right shape." She turned on the light, big, round, and bright, and Brewster tried to crow through his tape. She said, "Think of the ball up in the sky, or a flapjack round and flat. Look at Pa from behind, and I think you'll find he's shiny when he has no hat." The McIntosh family looked at each other, and they saw Zeb's knees start to buckle. They began to smile, and in a short while, those smiles turned into a chuckle. Little Julie said as the laughter grew, "Ma, when you're planting your clover, I'd wear a little less of that bright yellow dress if you're gonna be bending over." He thought she was the sun too. Magnolia laughed until she cried and said, "Our rooster has imperfect vision." "Lucky for you," the doc said on cue. "I'm also a rooster optician." They gathered round Julie and gave her a hug and told her she sure was so smart. And while smiles were shared, Brewster stared at the letters on Doc Sawyer's chart. "Which way does it go?" the doctor would ask, and Brewster would point a direction. Then they made a stop at the optical shop to fill the Brewster the Rooster's prescription. He got glasses. You think that's going to help? Look how cute he is with his glasses. There, oh, now he's got different ones. So now all's well on the McIntosh farm, and that's the way it should stay. Now that old Brewster, the spectacled rooster, crows at just one sunrise a day. The end. He needed glasses the whole time. That was the problem.
He has circle and it looks like his eye is big and small.
Yeah, it helped him to see better. All right, friends, let's get some of our wiggles out. Whoop, whoop. Okay, this time we're going to be chickens, okay? And so we're going to do, the tune is like if you're happy and you know it, but we're going to say if you're a chicken and you know it, okay? And so first we're going to flap our wings and say flap, flap. And then we're going to fly up high, fly, fly. We're going to scratch for worms, scritch, scratch. And we're going to go peck, peck, like our ASL sign, peck, peck. And then finally, we're going to settle into our nest and sit back down, okay? All right. If you're a chicken and you know it, flap your wings, flap, flap. If you're a chicken and you know it, flap your wings, chap, flap. If you're a chicken and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're a chicken and you know it, flap your wings, flap, flap. If you're a chicken and you know it, fly up high, fly, fly. If you're a chicken and you know it, fly up high, fly, fly. If you're a chicken and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're a chicken and you know it, fly up high, fly, fly. If you're a chicken and you know it, scratch for worms, scratch, scratch. If you're a chicken and you know it, scratch for worms, scratch, scratch. If you're a chicken and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're a chicken and you know it, scratch for worms, scratch, scratch. If you're a chicken and you know it, go peck, 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 peck. If you're a chicken and you know it, go peck, 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 peck. If you're a chicken and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're a chicken and you know it, go peck, 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 peck. All right, last one, go get near your seat. I'll get near mine. If you're a chicken and you know it, settle in your nest, settle, settle. If you're a chicken and you know it, settle in your nest, settle, settle. If you're a chicken and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're a chicken and you know it, settle in your nest, settle, settle. Is everybody settled in your nest?
Yes.
Okay. I really like this second one. This one is called Henry and the Crazed Chicken Pirates by Carolyn Crimmy, and the pictures are by John Manders. What do I hear?
Oh my.
Crazed Chicken Pirates. Okay, everybody. Is it quiet enough to get started? Okay. Can everybody hear? Okay, that sounds good. Okay, friends, here we go. Henry and the Buccaneer Bunnies lived on an island. They spent their days reading books they had collected over the years, shooting one another out of cannons, and swinging from the masts of their ship. They were a happy bunch. They're bunnies. I thought this was chickens. Until one day when Henry found a mysterious message in a bottle. We're coming to steal all your loot. We'd appreciate your complete cooperation. Bark! Sincerely, your worst enemies.
The chickens are coming?
That's what it sounds like.
Or rabbits?
Henry couldn't stop thinking about the note. We might trip over coconuts while we're trying to run away from the enemies, he said to his father, Barnacle Blackear, in the midst of a heated game of coconut bowling. Stop worrying about that old note, said Blackear.
Black ear?
Blackear is his name.
Ear?
What if they come while we're sleeping? Henry asked Calico Jack Rabbit, who was swabbing the deck. That's enough chitter-chatter out of you, said Calico Jack. What if a parrot poops in my eye and I can't see them coming? Henry fretted to Jean Le Hare while he helped him dig for lost treasure. Don't be a blubbering fool, said Jean Le Hare. Relax, matey. Relax, matey. But Henry couldn't relax. He read everything he could. Soon, Henry had enough information to start his own book, which he called Henry's Plan for Impending Danger from the Unknown Enemy Who Wrote the Scary Note. He spent every spare moment working on it. Quit wasting your time on writing. Leave that to the professionals, Blackear bellowed every time he saw Henry making notes. But Henry kept writing.
Why do you keep writing?
He just kept on. He felt like he had a purpose, I think. One day, on the other side of the island, Henry saw a strange sight. Floating down from the sky was a hot air balloon filled with crazed chicken pirates.
Chicken pirates!
Oh my goodness.
Chicken pirates!
Henry raced back to find the other Buccaneer bunnies. I just saw a hot air balloon filled with crazed chicken pirates, Henry cried. Blackear laughed. Ho, 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 ho. You're talking crazy again, Henry. Maybe you should get your eyes checked, said Jean Le Hare. Or eat more carrots, said Calico Jack. But Henry knew what he had seen, so he started working even harder on his book, testing and retesting his strategies. Henry, what happened? My parrot poop helmet slipped down over my eyes and I tripped, said Henry. Look, he made a helmet to protect him from parrot poop. Henry, what's wrong now? I was trying to attach a ladder to my lookout, said Henry. Look, he got all mixed up in it. Henry, what are you doing down there? I was trying to hop over my crazed chicken pirate trap, said Henry. Stop writing that blasted book of yours or I'll toss it into the sea, growled Blackear. But Henry kept writing. One morning, Henry heard a funny sound coming from the ship. He paged through his book until he found the chapter he was looking for. It says, funny sounds coming from the ship. If funny sounds should start coming from the ship, investigate without being seen or heard. So Henry grabbed his spyglass and quietly climbed to his lookout. What do you think those funny sounds are? The other Buccaneer bunnies were tied up while a gang of crazed chicken pirates rummaged through the ship. Get the ropes, find their loot, spill your guts or we'll throw you to the sharks. Bonk, bonk, bonk. That's some crazed chicken pirates.
Chicken pirates are good too. The chicken pirates rot the bunnies.
They did, they tied him up. Uh-oh, said Henry. He knew that he would need to think fast and act bravely. The problem, thought Henry, is that I do not really think fast and I'm not brave at all. Then Henry remembered something from his chapter, Facing the Enemy. When the enemy is nearby, pretend to be brave. So Henry put on his parrot poop helmet, which always made him feel brave, grabbed a coconut, and hopped to the ship. Pretend to be brave, he whispered. He adjusted his parrot poop helmet and tossed the coconut onto the ship. Hey, you crazed chicken pirates! You're nothing but a bunch of dopey drumsticks.
Adobe drumsticks. What is it?
Oh, you want to see? He was yelling at them. They're up on the ship. Seconds later, they came. Oh, no, let's put that back. Thank you. Seconds later, they came dashing down the gangplank, clucking and flapping with gusto. Get him, shouted the largest one. Henry hopped faster than he ever had before. Bog, come back here. Stop that hippity-hopping. Bog, bog. Friends, do you mind having a seat, please? Friends, go sit down on your bottoms over here, please. Can you sit down, please? Thank you. I appreciate your help. Henry kept going until he reached his crazed chicken pirate trap. Just before he was about to fall in, he hopped to the right. Suffer and scallywags, crikey, bonk! Man, they're fighting. All right. Every last crazed chicken pirate tumbled into the trap. You blimey bunny, they shouted. Get us out. Sorry, said Henry. He scampered back to the ship and untied the crew. 3 cheers for Henry, they cried. They toasted him with cups of coconut milk. Anything in your book about what to do with a bunch of crazed chicken pirates? Asked Blackear. As a matter of fact, there is, said Henry. And look, they put him on a ship and sent him out to sea. Afterward, Henry sat down in the sand and started to write. What book are you writing now, Henry? Asked Blackbeard. Henry smiled and said, I think I'll call it Henry and the Crazed Chicken Pirates. That's this book. The end. All right. That was a fun one. Those crazed chicken pirates, who knew? Okay, now it's time for the chicken dance, and I think a lot of you might know that, but there's 4 steps to it. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? That's the 4 moves. And then it'll start going like a really slow part where it's like do, 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 and we just kind of walk slowly in a circle, okay? Are y'all ready? Okay, let's do the chicken dance. This is our slow circle walk. Woo! All right, we ready? Here we're going to go again. Slow circle walk. Is your baby dancing? Oh. Okay, can we do it again? Okay, friends, was that super fun? Yeah. I like doing that dance. Okay, we have one last story. Everybody give a little spin and sit back down. Okay, this one is called Con Pollo, which means with chicken. And he's saying hola, which means hello. And this was written by, you may know these names, Jimmy Fallon and Jennifer Lopez. Bok bok. Okay, this is Pollo. That means chicken, right? She wants to play hola and play and play and play all day. Pollo is friendly and Pollo is fun. Want an example? I'll give you one. Do you want to go to the beach or go to la playa con pollo? I think that means the beach with chicken. Isn't this fun? Let's help with the words. Pollo rhymes with froyo. It's a chicken, a bird. Cone means with and sounds a little like cone, like ice cream cone. There's so many things to do that you don't have to be alone. Look at Pollo con his cone. Do you want to play soccer or play football con pollo? That's what they call it in Spanish. Do you want to go skateboarding or patinar con pollo? Patinar means to skate.
Skateboarding.
Yeah. Do you want to go dancing or bailar con pollo? To dance with chicken.
He's a dancing chicken.
It's a busy day for you and this chicken. You want to play more? Hurry, time is ticking. Did you have something to say?
It's kind of like there's a game called This or That, and it says like, would you rather like ice cream or donut?
Ah, that sounds fun. Do you want to go to school or go to la escuela con pollo?
That means park.
That means school, la escuela. Do you want to go to the library or go to la biblioteca con pollo? La biblioteca is how you say the library. Do you want to go to the store or go to la tienda con pollo? La tienda, yeah, the store. You seem to have fun playing with all the toys, so let's see what else you can do con pollo, with chicken. Do you want to build something? Construir con pollo. Do you want to fly or volar con pollo? Do you want to look at the stars or look at las estrellas con pollo? Con pollo. We're going to be looking at the stars this summer. Pollo is so tired. It's time to lay down and sleep. Do you hear a noise? I hear a cheep, cheep. Cheep, cheep. Let's say goodnight. Tomorrow's another day.
I think it has a, oh, it has the egg.
You can read this again. This time, Pollito will play. That means little pig. Pollito. Fin. The end. Pew, pew. The end. I like that one. It has new words. Okay. Now we're going to do a quick little felt story. And what can somebody show me 5? 5? Okay. 5 eggs. And 5 eggs. That makes 10. And sitting on top is Mother Hen.
Wait, I already saw that.
You've seen it. You know it. So then you know it goes crackle, crackle, crackle. You ready? Crackle, crackle, crackle. And what do we see? 10 fluffy chicks. Just yellow as can be. They hatched. That's fun. Okay, now let's talk about our craft. Uh-oh, his little coxcomb came off, but it'll be right like that.
That was the silliest thing.
That's so silly. So we're going to end up with a chicken that looks like this today. And so it'll start out like this. And you can color it. You can make your chicken whatever color you want. And cut it out and practice those skills for kindergarten. And glue it all together. And you'll have a very own chicken to take home with you today, okay? So that's our craft. All right, friends. Thank you for joining me for story time. Let's do our goodbye song. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as high as we can. Goodbye! Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as low as we can. Goodbye. Goodbye. What'd you say?
We're not that a new toy.
Oh.
We can handle a movie.
Oh, okay. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as fast as we can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as slow as we can. Goodbye. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as quiet as we can. Goodbye. Okay, this is a loud one, so if you need to cover your ears, now's the time. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say goodbye as loud as we can. Oh my goodness, y'all are so loud. Okay, you did a good job on that. Thank you for joining me for story time. We'll see y'all in a couple weeks.